So when I received this hole punch, it wasn't very sharp. It hadn't really been tuned up. This is a general hole punch. It's 16 millimeters or 5/8 of an inch. So it's a little smaller. It'll make that hole a little bit tight. But let's sharpen this so it's really useful. I also have a set of these Chinese hole punches, but I didn't have the correct size. It didn't have large enough. This just goes to a half. But I'm also going to show you how to sharpen these, because these really are notoriously not sharp either. They're heavy duty. They can be made to work well, but let's spend a few minutes and tune these up as well. So of course there's more than one way to skin that cat. These bits need to be sharpened on the edge and then also polished on the inside. Sharpened on the edge and polished on the inside. So I got some dowels. I put a little slit in that so we can take some very fine wet dry sandpaper, wrap it around, and we'll spin that inside of the bit, inside of this hole punch. And then I got a smaller dowel for this size, and we'll have to turn it down a little bit on the sander just so it fits properly. We've got some very nice easy lap, the medium, and the fine. I think we'll start with the fine, and then some trend diamond abrasive lubricant. This stuff is great. So let's chuck up their bit. Be sure it spins true, which it does. And then we'll just very carefully hone the edge. Yeah, and so that's putting a nice glimmer or nice shine on that edge. What we want to do is basically we want to match the bevel with this very perfectly. So we'll do this a little bit more and tone it up. I'll show you a trick on how to be sure you're on that bevel. We'll take some magic marker and we'll just color the whole machined edge, and as we reach the ideal angle, that'll all disappear. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. Okay, we've slowed it down. Now we work on getting this just the right angle. Let's take a look at that. So I didn't quite get it quite right. I was a little bit steep, so we'll back it up just a teeny bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So you can see right along the edge, it's all been honed. Now on the inside, if I did this well, we should feel just a small burr. Not quite. We'll do this a little bit more. As we can see, the machining marks are going away and we're replacing that with a really nice shine. That's what we want to see. We want to see this really completely eliminate the machining marks and make that really uniform and smooth. Okay, here we go again. I put a little more of this trend lapping fluid. almost gone. Just a little bit more. And yes, there's a very small burn here, which is great. And we'll hone that with some very fine 600 grit wet dry sandpaper on a dowel that I'm going to make a little bit smaller so it fits in here better. So we've gotten this general punch tuned up. Now let's take this Chinese one, and you can see I've blackened the tip so we can look at it and be sure that we get. So here we have that chucked up, and we're going to work on with this fine stone. Yep, so we've already got a burr on that, so we'll hone the inside of this as well. Let's take our dowels to the sander so they'll fit into these punches a little bit better. So here we've got a vertical belt sander, and we're just going to turn these dowels down a little bit so they fit into the punches really nicely. We'll zoom that in just a little bit. Take a look. That's good. That looks good. Okay, we'll get some sandpaper. This is 600 grit. I think you can see that. We'll cut the appropriate width. And length. Check this up. Put it in the slot. Spin it around. We'll get our bit just very gently started there, and we'll hone the inside. Please wear safety glasses. Something could happen. And it's probably better not to do this by hand. It's probably better to set it up in a vise. But this is how I like to do it. Now we can start to see the inside of the punch now is starting to get very shiny, suggesting that we're really doing our job. And we'll continue to do this a little bit more. Oh, it's quite sharp. Alright, we'll be punching some holes with this in just a minute. Now let's switch to this smaller one for the Chinese. Let's put a little bit of this on there. Probably fit. See if we can get this to just to sneak on there. That's good. Here we go. That's honing the inside of this. Very nice. Now, you could also take this dowel and coat it with some rouge, some other polishing material, and that will work well also. I just like the sandpaper. I think it's a little bit quicker. It's slightly more, even though it's very fine, it's slightly more aggressive. Okay, let's see how sharp these are. If this is sharp, I should be able to just punch through this rubber like that. So that's great. That one is very sharp. Let's try this one. Equally as good. So it doesn't even take a sharp wrap, it just pops right through, and these are sharp. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, please like. We're changing from Mountain Journey with Dr. Joe to Adventures with Dr. Joe. Stay safe. I'll see you later.